All right, Jim. This is going to be giving you details on how to do the all in title correctly and kind of compare. So if we're looking at this list here, it indicates that all in title on this vintage picnic baskets is just one. And so if we copy that phrase there, and we got search volume of 2,400. So that's the first thing that tells me something might not be right here, because it's very unlikely that you're going to find an all-in title that low when something has that much volume. I mean, it might be lower, but 1 and 2,400 searches, I'll bet there are more than one there. The other thing that is a red flag for me that says this list probably isn't correct is the fact that you have so many similar digits, all of these ones, all of these twos, threes, fours, fives, and so on down the list. That tells me that something isn't right, because you usually aren't going to have that many that are that close in number. So we'll start with this vintage picnic baskets. Come over to Google and put our all in title in. So that should be all one word, colon, and then a quote. Paste our phrase in there, and then put an end quote, closing quote, and run the search. So that is how that search has to look every single time. So here's our search, all lowercase, all one word, all in title, colon, and it's got to be a colon, not the semicolon. And then your quotes, and then our key phrase with spaces in between. If you don't put the spaces, then it's not the same. It's totally a different phrase. So we've got to make sure we have our spaces there, individual words, just like it comes from our spreadsheet, and then close quotes. And so you can see here with this phrase, we've got almost 1,000 results, 985 results right there. And so that would come back and go into this list right here under our all in title. Picnic set, I mean, there's got to be a huge number of searches on that. That's just it's a too generic of a phrase to be only in one meta title. And that's what this is showing us, the number of results in meta titles. See, in that one, it has 37,000 competing pages. And so again, that 37,000 should go right here where that one is. And we've got to go through and do that with each one of these and make sure that we've got the correct numbers there. Because if we don't, then picnic set, for example, we think, oh, there's no competition. It's only got one and 1,900 searches. Well, no, in reality, it's got 37,000 competing pages. It's going to be a lot harder than we expect to gain rankings for that. And if we're looking at the wrong data or incorrect data and basing our expectations off of that, then things are going to get frustrating in a hurry. Okay? So you've got to go through and make sure that you're doing this absolutely 100% correct. There is no margin for error in this. With all in title searches, it absolutely must be exact. All in title has to be all lowercase, all one word, colon directly after it. Directly after that is our quote. You can put a space after that, and that isn't going to change anything. That's one thing that won't matter there. Results will be the same. That's the only thing that you can really change. Then we put our quote, our key phrase with spaces between the words, and then the end quote. That's what we've got to do for our results to be correct. So again, you see here, it's 1,460 results for that family picnic basket, not 2. So there are drastic differences there. So we've got to make sure that we're going through this correctly and getting the right numbers, because if we're not, then it just, the data isn't correct. Let's go down and just try one of these down here where you have a bigger all in title number and see what we've got there. And for that one, 2-person picnic set, 407 results. And for some reason, we've got a larger number there, 1,770. So again, something isn't being done correctly. We've got to make sure that it is absolutely done correctly. You will see some variation, some fluctuation in this between what I do here right now and what you see when you do it. That's because pages are changing constantly and people are making adjustments. Google will show you slightly different results than they'll show me perhaps, but it's not going to be a huge difference. It shouldn't be, me seeing 400 and you seeing 1700, or me seeing 37,000 and you seeing 1. That isn't going to happen. It won't be that drastic of a change. So if you're seeing that drastic of a difference, then something is wrong up here, and you've got to correct it. You've got to make sure that this is always exactly like this. Quotations around your phrase, spaces in between the words in the phrase, the colon right after the all in title, and all in title must be all lowercase. If you put a capital A, for example, right there, totally changes what you're telling Google to look for. See that? And that's not correct. We've got to have that in lowercase. Okay? So that's how you do all in title correctly. Make sure you do it correct every time. And if you get this down to where you're making sure that that is exactly what you're putting in and you're getting the correct numbers, there will never be a problem, and you'll be able to trust the numbers that you're researching.